You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Alright, y'all, we are back with Route 65. I'm very interested to see where this leads. Y'all, what path y'all want me to take? Because apparently there's different paths in this game, and I'm pretty interested. I want to see them all, just like Echo. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. I don't even know how Leo would react to any of this. He makes jokes about poofy stuff all the time, but I can tell there is some unease there. That leaves TJ. Carl described him once as the moral, gooey center of our sandwich of a group of friends. That being said, I'm not sure how much I can actually tell him. He's just barely crossing the puberty threshold right now. Plus the Christianity factor. I uncover one of my ears long enough to pull out my phone, my heart skipping a beat at the new voicemail notification. I quickly swipe over to my contacts. Oh. Wow. All the people do... Let's do TJ. You know what? We'll do TJ's route first. How about that, y'all? This will be TJ's run. I frown to myself as my thumb pad hovers over TJ's contact image on the Messenger app. I remember when the picture was taken. It was at the old Yeehaw Riverway. I had just gotten my cell phone and was asking everybody to pose for a picture. Leo took on a real stoic, statuesque expression, and Carl gave a dopey smile and made a peace sign, and Jasmine put on her best sassy look. Yeah, actually, let's save that right here. Okay. Yep. We'll do TJ. Okay. And Flynn just stuck his weird forked tongue out, and TJ gave a proper polite smile as if the idea of being silly didn't even occur to him. I guess in his mind I'd made a request and he wasn't about to sully it or do something for a laugh. TJ takes friendship seriously, and I can't help but feel that that's a quality in someone that would be really nice to have by me right now. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? I'll keep it vague at first. Dropping a bomb might just confuse him into thinking I'm making some sort of lewd joke. Hey, Chase, what's happening? Happy Dia de los Muertos. I'm working through some bad stuff. I don't want to go home. Where are you? I feel a bit bad not really indulging in returning TJ's chipper mannerisms, but I just really don't have it in me right now. Oh no, what happened? Mom picked me up when we're finishing up my costume. She heard there was a party happening on that old Parsons building on Route 65. We leave soon. I didn't know parties happened around here outside of backyard birthday stuff. I know TJ goes to a lot of different functions in his free time. He's kind of a popular kid, though pretty much all of them are based around church and community service activities. I'm pretty much never an Echo, though. The only church we have in town is the old abandoned one from the Mormon Trail days. I think it turned into a school briefly during World War II, though it shut down soon after. The county tried to make it a tourist thing once, but it didn't work. Back when my parents still went to church, we had to drive all the way out to Peyton at 7 o'clock in the morning. I hated it and would whine and complain every time. Sometimes I carpooled with TJ, and the vibe was completely different. They discussed Bible verses and talk about their weekly self-betterment goals. I think I remember getting in trouble because I kept calling everything dumb when I was in the car with him one morning. I was really cranky. So, you know. Alrighty. After that, my parents made me ride with them. In contrast, my folks usually just left on the talk radio and we drove in silence. Chase, you're making us kind of worried. You can meet us there if you want. I don't think you need an invitation. I'm a bit worried that this party would be just another acoustic guitar, arts, and crafts for the elderly affair. The more I think about it, the location strikes a tad weird-like. Parsons is sort of out in the boondocks of Echo, which is still technically the middle of the goddamn nowhere. So I'm not doing too great, but yeah, I'll meet you there. Or at any other time I'd pass, but not tonight. Are you okay, sweetie? I can come pick you up if you like. I'll call your mom, too, to let her know you're with us. A bit startled for a moment there at the whole sweetie thing before I realized what's happening. Oh, hi, Mrs. Hess. Could you please not do that? I'll see you and TJ at the party. We just want to make sure you're okay. At least let us pick you up and drive you. No, it's okay. I'm with Carl. Don't worry, it's just teenage awkwardness stuff. Oh, Toby is learning all about that now. We had to buy him his first can of deodorant the other day. As an otter, you must be having an even harder time with all that on account of the musk glands developing, don't you know? We could stop and buy you some demusking spray if you want. Oh my God. I did not expect when I started texting TJ that 5 minutes later to be forced into a conversation about my musk glands with his mother. I've got my supply for now, thanks. As the familiar landmarks of the railway and the bedrock of Echo Canyon come into view out the window, my restless anxiety returns. Texting TJ and his mother did not help at all. I can see that we're approaching Carl's stop. A bus turns onto the neighborhood road and I scoot over some, speaking up to get Carl's attention. So, I'm gonna get off with you here, okay? Carl just continues staring at his blank screen for a second before blinking and looking back at me. Are you sure? That might be pretty messy, and Karen watching might give me performance anxiety. Carl stares deadpan at me. I rest my forehead into my paw and groan, though I end up snickering a bit. The bus comes to a stop. Carl, this is where you get off.
Chase wants to get off too. The bus.
You have a note from your folks? Shit. I look back to Carl and he gives me a look of understanding. He unslings his backpack from his shoulder, rifling through it. Carl looks up at me briefly, mouthing one word. Stall. I do. I make a motion of holding something up behind the seat. Carl seems to have found a pen and notepad and is scribbling hastily. So, Karen, you mentioned your son Keith. The name sounds familiar. Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver gaze eyeing me up. Well, I doubt you have recently. Keith's been gone for a good year or so now. Where did he go? Karen scratches the end of her muzzle, still eyeing me with the same searching expression. He's dead. Dead to me, at least. Oh, sorry. Look at him. Definitely not going to prod there. Carl currently looks as if he's trying to camouflage into his seat, slowly sliding down into it. It's alright. The old fox lets out a huff that is half exasperated, half amused. She waves dismissively. You squirts gonna exit the bus or not? I got a big bowl of cinnamon chips and pineapple mango salsa waiting for me back home. I shift awkwardly to my seat. Out of the corner of my eye, I feel the yellow flares down with my feet. With haste, I bend down and snatch up the note, acting as nonchalant as possible. Carl's penmanship is actually pretty good. I give him a discreet, grateful look as he gets up and moves to the exit. I'm coming. Carl stops, looking back at me with that same deadpan expression. To the front of the bus. I think I hear Carl mutter that's quite some range as he turns and continues offward. Carl hops off first, his hooves making an audible clop noise upon the aged asphalt. However, as I follow and move to hand my note to the Karen, her calloused hand grasps my wrist instead of the note. I'm not that deaf and dumb, kitty. I've been doing this job a long while. She relinquishes my wrist, the note fluttering to the ground. I feel Carl staring nervously at us from the road. I appreciate your curiosity. Keith and I live down in Colville, so I doubt you'd know him. He made some seriously questionable decisions regarding his amorous pursuits, things I could not abide by. She shifts some in her large driver's seat, the cadence of her voice changing some as she looks to the back of the bus. I saw you back there, puffy-eyed and trembling. Oh no. You afraid of something at home? I know how the people can be out here. I'm frozen, feeling the tips of my ears burn rosy at today's endless cavalcade of embarrassment. She pauses, bending down to pick up the dropped note and tossing it in the bus's trash bucket. Especially with kids. I'm not sure what she means by that, and definitely am not sure what to say. I look back at Carl. He's averting his gaze now, his paws deep in his hoodie pockets. Alright, I get it. Nobody trusts the hick bus driver to know what it's like to be a kid these days. Look, run along now. Sorry for, grabbing you. I'm used to them shits Jeremy and Clint doing that and get me into trouble. I try and force a smile. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your concern and all. Yeah, they're pretty shitty. Hey, language, kiddo. Sorry. Also, tell Carl his flies down. He looks like a damn fool. I see Carl stiffen, quickly reaching down and fumbling with his zipper, his neon orange Superwolf boxers visible through his fly. Karen just sighs. I feel my phone vibrate in my pocket. See you squirts on Monday. Oh, well, hello, Carl. Youngin'. I step off the bus beside Carl and the door shut behind me. Karen heading back. Tongue-tied. Karen heading back toward the freeway. It gets dark so much earlier now that summer is over. Echo isn't exactly a major township. The area is deemed a census-designated place, so we don't get streetlights. Carl watches the bus fade off into the distance before pulling out his phone. Can't wait until I get my own car and license. He starts texting. Let my parents know that you're coming over. We should troll around on that 3D virtue check game again tonight. I spent some money and got myself this big luchador avatar, except I gave him big old breasts. He's called Mamaria. He looks up at me with a smirk before turning and walking. How much did you spend? much did you spend? I follow, pulling out my own phone. Oh. I never had the opportunity to properly thank you. You've all been so brave, and your visits to Toby afterwards meant so much, Chase. I don't know. I was just grabbing what I needed. $15 maybe. Refocused briefly, glancing over toward Carl. That's a lot for one of those kind of games, especially just for clothing. We haven't seen you much since you and your parents stopped going to church so much, but we'd love to have you over for dinner sometime. Well, like the luchador mask I wanted was one of the premium items, so it costed the most. Everything else was dirt cheap. What year is this? What year this takes place in? Because, microtransactions weren't really a thing back in the day. Really kind of started with the whole horse armor in Oblivion, which was supposed to be a joke, but I guess enough fucking idiots bought it. Every single girl in that game uses the same hair, the long, curly, blonde one that costs like $1. At least they say they're girls. I'm just trying to be unique, otherwise what's the point? It's a social role-playing game. I risk getting ignored. I actually have another account with a character that is more normal looking. He's talking about Furcadia. Jesus Christ, that takes me back. I made him after you left last time. He's like this big primate-looking dude with burn scars everywhere and this kind of albino-y face. I had the idea for the character sort of based off a dream I had once. Though, I have one quick question for you, Chase. Oh, what the fuck? Oof. Do you know how to delete messages on this thing? I'd rather not Toby know that I mentioned the incident. He's been doing so well. Jesus, this is creepy. What the? Anyway, we went to a lot of the in-game hotspots at first. A lot of the stuff you and I saw when we were messing around. It is sort of like you said, that most of the people there are just middle-aged housewives who can barely type a sentence. I sort of went off the grid, I guess you'd call it. Like the spots that aren't advertised on the destination finder. For this messenger app, you go back to the contact screen, hold over my contact name, and then press delete conversation history. I started finding a lot of weird shit. Like, weirder than the shit we were making ironically, yeah? There were these places which looked like more like real-life houses, not the usual fantasy exotic stuff. Just people living in virtual families in these boring-ass-looking homes, complete with framed photos of screenshots of the characters. I got the impression that a lot of them were, like, foreign. I walked out and into this one flat with these two horse ladies in it. They had decorations with Middle Eastern words everywhere, but they seemed normal enough. They had a TV item which just displayed a slideshow of Photoshop photos of them with a baby. We started exploring the house. I ended up walking into their nursery room, and they got really pissy. Thought about trolling, you know, and writing, I eat the babby, and hopping up and down on the crib, but I don't know. Just felt like this weird mix of awkward and sad. Thank you, Chase. I'll be dropping Toby off at the old Parsons Manufacturing Building on Route 65 in a bit. Hope you feel better soon. Chase? Are you listening? Carl was standing in front of me with a concerned expression on his face. It takes me a moment to respond. Yeah, just texting TJ. Or, well, his mom. Nice. Dude. Look up the street. Carl's house sitting in its amber glowing glory atop the hill slope. Apparently there's a party happening tonight. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Kate Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names from the credits, get access to not safe for work content as little as $5 already. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!